Just when the competition became a bit too hot for the Vivo V9, the company dropped in the Vivo V9 Pro, which packs in better hardware and is comparatively affordable at 17,990 rupees. Does the bump in hardware make it a better package? We put it to the test to find out. The Vivo V9 Pro can pass off as a V9 because visually these two are identical. It is slim and the curved sides make it easy to hold. Just like the V9 Pro has a notch at the top of the display which houses the earpiece, sensors and the notification LED as well as the selfie flash. The notch is compact and liberates a lot of screen estate on either side. The screen has thin bezels all around except the bottom where it is comparatively thicker. At the bottom of the phone, it has a 3.5mm headphone jack, a micro USB port and a loudspeaker grill. We weren't happy with the headphone jack placement as it would come in the way while playing games in landscape mode. The left side of the device only has the SIM tray slot which houses a dual nano SIM slot and a dedicated micro SD card slot. There is support for 4G as well as VoLTE on both SIM slots. The Vivo V9 Pro has a dual camera setup at the back along with a single LED flash and the fingerprint scanner. While most of the smartphones use premium materials in their construction, Vivo has used plastic for the V9 Pro. To give it a rich look, the camera module rim, fingerprint scanner and the Vivo branding have a golden highlight. The phone has a pre-applied screen protector and gets a transparent case in the box. The main specification differentiating the V9 Pro from the regular model is the octa-core Snapdragon 660 processor. Vivo has opted for a more powerful chip and has paired it with 6GB of RAM. You get 64GB of internal storage, which is further expandable up to 256GB. The 6.3-inch IPS display has Full HD Plus resolution. It has good viewing angles and can get bright enough when outdoors. Vivo ships the V9 Pro with Android 8.1 Oreo with its custom FunTouch OS 4 on top. It was running the September security patch, which is fairly recent. FunTouch OS is designed to mimic iOS and uses similar icon packs to pull off that look. Vivo has also thrown in gesture navigation that lets you swipe to navigate instead of the 3 traditional buttons. A few other customizations on the V9 Pro include Face Unlock, which is as quick as the fingerprint scanner to unlock the smartphone. There are more additions like motorbike mode, which automatically rejects incoming calls and sends an SMS to the caller. It also has app clone feature, which is similar to dual apps, letting you run 2 instances of supported applications. While there are a lot of features, you also get a fair amount of bloatware pre-installed. We found NewsPoint to be a little spammy as it kept sending notifications throughout the day. There's no hint of lag or stutter while going through the menus and while multitasking. Large apps and games are still quick to load and you can multitask with them in the background easily thanks to 6GB of RAM. Vivo also ships a 10-watt charger to charge its 3260 mAh battery and a pair of earphones in the box. In our HD video loop test, the phone managed to go on for 10 hours and 8 minutes. The phone ran PUBG at the medium setting and did not get hot when we were playing the game in an air-conditioned room. The battery drain was low while gaming, allowing us to play multiple rounds before needing to plug it into the charger. With our heavy usage, the phone displayed the power saver pop-up at 9 PM. With lighter usage, you should be able to go beyond a day. Vivo has opted for a 13 megapixel plus 2 megapixel sensor instead of the 16 plus 5 megapixel shooter on the Vivo V9. Similarly, the selfie camera too is a 16 megapixel sensor instead of a 24 megapixel sensor on the V9. The camera app is similar to what we have seen on other Vivo smartphones. You get toggles for HDR, portrait and live photo. You can switch to panorama mode or a professional mode that lets you control the exposure, ISO, shutter speed, white balance as well as autofocus. Beautification mode is available for both the primary and the selfie camera. Photos clicked from the V9 Pro were a hit or a miss. In daylight, it managed to set the exposure right and focus where we wanted it to. Photos appeared good as is, but zooming in revealed a loss in details. Macros have good amount of detail, but it does take time to focus where we wanted it to. While clicking portraits, we found the edge detection to be inconsistent. In some instances, it skips out on blurring the gap between the person's arm and the body. Low light camera was below average, and while it manages to keep noise under control, the output is quite grainy. Video recording on the V9 Pro maxes out at 1080p for both the primary and the selfie camera. This is surprising considering the V9 could do 4K video recording. There is no video stabilization available, which results in shaky footage. We found that the beautification mode can be enabled while recording a video as well as on video calls in compatible apps. Vivo has priced the V9 Pro better than some of its other models, including the Vivo V9 when it was first announced. The Vivo V9 Pro has a powerful processor and more RAM compared to the regular model. But in order to keep the cost low, it has opted for different camera sensors. While the Qualcomm Snapdragon 660 processor bumps up the performance, the change in the camera sensors does not have a significant impact on the output. Priced at 17,990 rupees, the Vivo V9 Pro is priced lower than the Vivo V9, which is currently listed at 18,990 rupees, making it easier to recommend over the other. So that was our review of the Vivo V9 Pro. What do you guys think about this device? Let us know in the comment section below. And as always, for all things tech, stay tuned to gadgets360.com.